This is the story of how this website led to the creation of Shopify, a multi-billion-dollar company. Shopify Incorporated is a Canadian company based in Ottawa, Ontario, that specializes in e-commerce. Their e-commerce platform, called Shopify, provides a range of services to help these businesses, such as payment processing, marketing tools, shipping solutions, and customer engagement features. As of December 2022, Shopify reported that over 2 million businesses across approximately 175 countries were using their platform. Shopify started in 2006 when two guys, Tobias Lutke and Scott Lake, tried to open an online store to sell snowboarding gear. They weren't happy with the e-commerce tools available, so Tobias, who's good with computers, decided to make his own. He used a web framework called Ruby on Rails to build their online store, and in just 2 months, they had it up and running. In June 2006, Shopify was born when its founders decided to share their creations for online stores. They introduced a unique design language called Liquid in the process. In 2009, they made a significant advancement by introducing the Shopify API, enabling developers to create and sell apps for Shopify stores on the Shopify App Store. This API enhanced the platform's flexibility and power. In April 2010, they further streamlined store management by releasing an iPhone app. In 2015, Shopify became a publicly traded company, which means people could buy and sell its shares on the stock market. They started trading at a higher price than expected and raised a lot of money. Around the same time, Amazon chose Shopify to help its merchants move their stores online, which made Shopify even more popular. Over the years, Shopify has faced some controversies and legal issues. In 2017, a campaign known as #DeleteShopify emerged, urging people to boycott Shopify because the platform was hosting a shop for Breitbart News. In response to the criticism, Shopify CEO Tobias Lutke defended the decision, stating that refusing to do business with Breitbart would be seen as a violation of free speech. Tobias Lutke argues that e-commerce is a potent form of expression, likening consumers' purchases to votes and equating them with free speech. He asserts that Shopify should not interfere with this expression, even if they personally or as an organization disagree with the beliefs of the users on their platform. However, some critics on Twitter believe Lutke's stance is an overestimation of a commerce platform's role and an underestimation of a private business's responsibility to its customers. They point out that Shopify cannot technically censor content, as it's not a government entity and isn't legally obligated to provide a platform to anyone, even if their activities are within the boundaries of the law. In other words, they argue that Lutke's perspective on Shopify's role in upholding free expression is flawed and overlooks the responsibility of a private business to make content-related decisions. In October 2017, Andrew Left, the founder of Citron Research and a well-known short seller, published a report alleging that Shopify was exaggerating the number of merchants using its e-commerce platform. He went on to further describe Shopify as a get-rich-quick scheme, which he believed was in violation of Federal Trade Commission regulations. This report had an immediate impact on Shopify's stock, causing it to drop by over 11% on the day of its release. Left revisited Shopify in April 2019 with another report predicting that the company's stock price would decrease by 50% within the next year. However, in January 2020, he announced in his annual investor letter that Citron Research had exited their short position in Shopify. Despite these critical reports, they did not lead to an official FTC investigation into Shopify's business practices. In essence, Left's allegations and predictions had a significant impact on Shopify's stock price, but they didn't result in regulatory action by the FTC. Then in July 2022, Shopify faced criticism from Media Matters, a left-leaning media watchdog, for hosting the online store of a far-right, anti-LGBT influencer known as Libs of TikTok. In response, a Shopify spokesperson defended their position, stating that Libs of TikTok do not violate the company's acceptable use policy, which clearly defines prohibited activities on their platform. The criticism was reignited in November 2022 when the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation published an article featuring Ottawa City Council member Ariel Troster's criticism of Shopify in the context of a recent LGBTQ nightclub shooting. Nandini Jami of Check My Ads also criticized Shopify on Twitter after sharing the CBC article. In response to these criticisms, Shopify CEO Tobias Lutke took to Twitter, stating that the company has published acceptable use policy as a principled process for its enforcement. He suggested that various pressure groups from different sides attempt to influence the company's policy and that the CBC should be discerning in not amplifying what he termed as bad faith narratives. Essentially, the controversy revolved around Shopify's decision to host an online store associated with a far-right influencer and the company's assertion that they were adhering to the stated usage policies. On the other hand, in December 2021, several prominent publishers, including Pearson Education Incorporated, Macmillan Learning, Cengage Learning Incorporated, Elsevier Incorporated, and McGraw-Hill filed a lawsuit against Shopify. They claimed that the e-commerce platform had not effectively removed listings in stores that were selling pirated copies of their books and educational materials. This legal dispute was ultimately resolved out of court through an amicable settlement, with the specific terms not disclosed to the public. In May 2023, Shopify faced another legal challenge in the form of a class action lawsuit worth $130 million. This lawsuit was filed by employees who had been laid off, presumably due to issues related to their employment or the company's practices. In June 2023, Shopify announced that it was taking a stance against patent trolls, who are entities known for initiating numerous patent litigation cases annually. The company decided to fight back and filed a lawsuit against these patent trolls as part of their effort to combat such practices. Essentially, Shopify found itself entangled in various legal matters, ranging from intellectual property concerns with publishers to employee-related issues and patent litigation challenges. Shopify is also accused of data breaches. In September 2020, Shopify confirmed a data breach affecting a limited number of its customers, specifically fewer than 200 online merchants. However, one of these affected merchants reported that over 4,900 of their customers had their information compromised. The data breach exposed customer information such as names, addresses, and order details, but it did not include highly sensitive data like complete payment card numbers or other critical personal and financial information. Shopify stated that there was no indication that the stolen data had been used for malicious purposes, such as identity theft or fraud. The company identified the culprits behind the breach as two rogue members of its support team, and they were subsequently terminated from their positions. Additionally, Shopify took the matter seriously, involving law enforcement by forwarding it to the FBI for further investigation. In essence, the breach was a breach of customer data security at Shopify, affecting a small number of merchants, with two internal individuals being responsible for the unauthorized access to this data. What do you think the future holds for Shopify? Will they continue to shape the online business landscape? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through Shopify's history, don't forget to subscribe for more engaging content and give us a thumbs up if you found this information valuable.